Hey everybody, it's Pastor Austin, and I needed to connect with you again this week. Usually I try and connect at least once, but if there's a pressing situation like what our governor talked about the other night, then I do need to speak with you once again. Anytime that I hear our governor make mandates or new orders, anything like that, I find it best that we take a day before we make any decisions whatsoever, spend time with God, seek out wise counsel, and just see what is the appropriate thing to do here. I don't think it's appropriate for us as a church to rush to any decisions after hearing these kinds of orders, because if I immediately did the things that were on my mind, being frustrated when we were shut down, when we reopened, when there was a limit, I would have done things out of frustration and not out of the wisdom of what God has given us. And so I like to take a day. So please forgive me, show some grace if I did not respond to you that day, or even the day of that the governor said those things, because it was in the evening. I like to take that time, and I would much rather come to all of you in this kind of format. That way all of you are getting the exact same information. There's no misunderstandings, anything like that. Because I have gotten a lot of calls and texts and questions. What do we do now? What do we do now? And I just want to be able to comfort you and encourage you that God is still on his throne and we are still going to worship. Okay, things may look just slightly different, but it's actually not too far off from what we're doing right now. His mandate really doesn't change a whole lot of things for us at CBC. The first thing that does change, now unfortunately we had to make a tough decision and we had to cancel our community barbecue. Let me rephrase that. We had to reschedule our community barbecue. When things open back up, we're going to look at trying to do that later on when it is a little bit more safer. We are not going to take the side of a conspiracy theory group, and we're not going to take the side of those who are so hardcore with social distancing that they never leave their house. We're going to find that happy medium where we'll show love to our community, saying we love you enough that whether we believe it or not that it's out there, we're going to try and make a safer community. What shows love more to a community? To have a barbecue during a time of a mass virus being spread around, or to say, you know what, let's reschedule for when things are just a little bit safer? What shows more love to a community? That right there. That second one right there. And so we're showing our love to Dayton and the surrounding areas by saying we're going to reschedule that. Another thing that has slightly changed for us, but not that much really, is this face covering in our worship services. At CBC from the get-go, we have always suggested face coverings. I myself have not worn one, but tried to keep my distance because it's difficult to preach with a face covering on. The microphones aren't able to pick up things like that, and it always sounds muffled. If you watched our governor, even in his press conference, when he was in the room, social distance from those of the media, he took off his face covering. And so I'm going to watch and take from an example of our governor and our leader and not put my face covering on when I am preaching. I will listen and I will follow him like that. But what we are changing ever so slightly is that we are hoping that you guys will make the decision to please wear a face covering of some kind if you don't have a pre-existing medical condition. We are just urging even further to continue to wear those, okay? Now, if you see somebody not wearing one, don't ask them. Don't ask them, because it's not your right to ask them their medical condition. It's not my right, and I legally can't investigate and tell them, you need to tell me your pre-existing medical condition and why you're not wearing a face mask. If you see them without a face mask, if you have an extra one that you made that's never been used or anything like that, and they can sanitize it right there and everything, sure, you can offer if you need be. But this is more of a self-policing thing where they are going to make the choice, especially if we have a guest, guys. We don't want the guest to hear the first thing, you have to wear a face mask, or you can't sit here, or you can sit here. We don't want to hear that. Okay, and a guest doesn't want to hear that, because that's all that they're going to listen to. We want them to have an opportunity to hear and experience and respond to the grace of God That's what we want. So we're going to just self-police ourselves, right? We're going to look at ourselves and say, am I wearing a face mask? Am I social distancing? Am I keeping from hugging and kissing and all that kind of stuff? Am I creating space so that whether I believe it or not, others feel safe around us? We want to keep people safe and show them love. So really, not a whole lot more being different. And if you do have a face covering, hey, I'd love to see you decorate it. Put on different things on it. Show me the funniest one that you can find. Anything like that, right? Wear your favorite sports team. Have some fun with it. That's okay. Guys, we can have a lot of fun out of this, and we can still worship God. There is no need for us to get overly concerned and say, well, the governor can't make laws or the legislator makes laws. Guys, let's stop. Just stop. We're not going to go there. We're going to love God and we're going to love people, and we still can have fun doing it. And I'm telling you, I am so excited to see you guys again on Sunday. I have loved the past few weeks that we've finally gotten to be back together. And I'm telling you, this is one awesome family at CBC. And if you're a guest watching this right now, we are meeting 8:15, 11, and 6 p.m., and you're welcome to join us. We would love to see you there, and the moment you walk in, you are going to feel welcome. We want to make sure that you feel welcome, okay? And we want to connect with you. We'd love to be there beside you to help you grow, and we want to help serve as followers of Christ, all the while showing you that same love that God has shown us. I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you soon.
Like heaven on earth.